closer.
Ooh, careful.
Glad I did not open that yet.
Amazing. Mine's over here open.
All right. Got coconut water. And we got poke. And we got each other.
Yay.
And we're going to chit-chat with you guys.
Yes, we're so excited to eat lunch. It's almost 2 o'clock here in Hawaii.
Yeah. I'm trying a new poke.
Well, no, I'm not. This is my current favorite.
Oh,
poke.
I'm trying Addy's current favorite.
Current favorite poke.
As you guys know, I'm trying to find a better view of both of us.
Yeah, do you want to get do you mind if I tilt it down more?
Tilt it down more.
All right.
Oh, perfect. Much better.
Oh, God, please bless this food we're about to eat. May it nourish and strengthen our bodies. Amen.
Yes. So Addy's gotten it before. I'm trying Addy's current fave. She convinced me, as she always does. You guys know Addy is way more adventurous with food than I am.
Yes, I love raw fish and poke.
She said it's good.
I like it. It's got crab in it, and I'm surprised JayySnow got it because we still haven't figured out whether it's imitation crab or real crab or not.
It is definitely imitation.
Right. I feel like it.
It's good though.
You like it? I'm so happy.
That trash just blew, but I'll go get it when I'm.
Yeah. For sure. It looks so good.
It's good. So guys, you know I stay getting that spicy ahi.
It's always delicious. I've been just forcing myself to expand and to tie in. Thanks to the viewers. Say hey, like the video so more people can join. The topic today was talking about how we literally left our old lives in corporate America, city life, to spend buy 3 and an acre homestead in Hawaii. Hey, King Grayson, what's up? What's good? Thanks. Be sure to like the live so you can, so more people can see our lives. So yeah, and I remember at my last job, which if you watch my videos, you know what it was. The first lunch was poke, and I think I made a video about it, but this is a whole other level of poke, and it's like you can't be afraid to leave your old life. There's room for better out there, and it's only $8 here. Oh, thanks, King Grayson. He said 2 beautiful queens.
Oh, thanks, Grayson.
In fact, that is definitely what we are. So we're in our queen energy, and it's like you've seen through our content, like our journey. It's like if you watch JayySnow's content, taps into the spirituality of this move. I'm a subscriber, been waiting for you to pop up. Thanks for subscribing. I have seen your name pop up. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions about leaving corporate America to live off-grid in Hawaii and homestead, definitely drop them in the chat for sure. So, it's, yeah, the JayySnow Wellness Show was all part of the spiritual journey.
Yeah, that was a fun series.
Oh, LOL. Well, thanks. You're definitely part of our YouTube fan, so thanks for being part of our YouTube fan. And then I pivoted to quantum coaching, and we definitely quantum leaped here. As you can see our outfits, like the first manifestation AI photo I made for both of us was us in like similar yoga outfits like this. They were yellow, and if we had access to yellow ones, we would wear them.
We don't have them yet.
They don't make them. But now we're here. As you can see, we're in our yoga wear. We're eating delicious poke, and we're in the beautiful Hawaiian jungle.
And guys, we were so not here. Like, I feel like I think about, even I say in some of my live streams, like the most recent one when we were doing yard work, I'm like, you know, I don't even have that much gardening experience. I just have the experience you get from living in a 1-bedroom apartment, maintaining the amount of plants that you can keep on your balcony, which it's a 1-bedroom apartment, so you do the math, you know. Just thinking about like the levels of truth to that, like 1-bedroom apartment was incredibly tiny. Like, we were both really grateful because we had somewhere to go and it was comfortable. We had very nice things in there, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I don't think either of us could conceive that this is what was in store.
Yeah, we deserved more and better. And and it's like everything about that apartment. I rented that apartment, technically condo, because of a job that brought me back to Atlanta. Fortunately, I was already planning on going back to Atlanta, but it was definitely a job that brought me to that. I didn't want to rent a place too expensive because I was worried about potentially losing my job and being able to keep up with the rent. So I found the cheapest possible place I could find. My shout out to Mom Ruby who helped me find it. Um, so you know, it was nothing about that was intentional other than a way to save money so we could fund our dream, which we didn't know exactly what it was at the time, but now we know it was living off grid in Hawaii.
No, and I feel like so much of the magic of our relationship is that we are so good and we both enjoy so much dreaming together.
Yes.
And I was just talking to Addie, and I told my sister about it because it's so funny. Where I forgot where we were going, Boo. Were we going to London or UK? I forgot where we were going.
I think we're flying back from London.
Okay, we were flying back from London, and y'all, the way we sat down on that flight, which I'm thinking about as a 8 hour flight. We sat down on that flight and planned out an entire homestead. This was years ago, right? This is like probably within the first year of us being married. We sat on that plane. We planned out an entire homestead, and then no sooner than we could close the book, with writing down. I mean, we went in detail, and no sooner than we closed Addie's planner at the time, we were like, but we'll probably never do that because it's just too much work, and we don't know anything about animals, and like literally spun that dream and immediately talked ourselves out of it.
Immediately talked ourselves out of it.
So I just think it's so funny to end up back here.
Some things are just put on your heart, your spirit, and just make sense. And it's easy to talk ourselves out of things because we've never done them before.
Right.
And
and also have never seen other people do them before.
Yeah, for sure.
Addie's so lucky because her family is spread out. They travel. They live in multiple places and parts of the world. My family is really different. We're very concentrated into the South, specifically south of the mainland, and then the whole Southeast. Barely anybody really that I know of, for real. Shout out if I'm wrong. Sorry, I love you. But barely anybody I know in our family lives outside of those regions. So I had never even seen anybody. I mean, my brother lived in California for, and my sister-in-law, they lived there for quite some time with their kids. But obviously they're back in Georgia now. So
Yep. It's really hard to get out of your comfort zone, and they say life begins at the end of your comfort zone, and that is so real, and it's so hard to leave. I mean, everyone talks about the golden handcuffs. Everyone knows the pull and draw of being at home where the family is. And I get Julian touched on it. I never really had that base. Like it, technically the base is in the UK, but I can't legally be there for more than 6 months without a job. Again, corporate slips in. So I was kind of forced to create what felt like home for me. Atlanta always felt like home, but I also knew it wasn't long term for me either, just because it just didn't feel long term for me.
yeah.
And thanks for the subscribe, you guys.
No, so I feel like, and I also feel like us traveling together was a huge part of it, because I feel like we both knew that what we wanted. Well, I don't think we knew exactly what we wanted, but we knew where we were wasn't what we wanted. And I think we got to see so many of our friends at different levels achieve different things. Our family members achieve different things, and I feel like that was great because it helped us see, like, I don't know if that's the version of what we want, even though we're so happy and so grateful that they're getting what they want. I don't know if we woke up with that tomorrow, would we be happy? And we wouldn't.
Yeah. We used comparison because people always say like don't compare, but it's literally impossible to not compare. It's part of human nature. I feel like
human nature, scientifically and sociologically proven, humans operate off of comparison and judgment.
Yep.
Actually.
So I feel like we use that to help us. And it's like, well, whose life do we want to trade with, you know? And not just people we know, but like people, celebrities, people out in the world, people who we've just seen their house driving past the street. You know, we really
I
had
feel
to
like
think about that.
for me, most recently, it's people in their ikigai.
Yes.
People who I can tell when I look at them that they're like happy and enjoying what they're doing. I'm like, okay, what are they doing that I could like? And is that something that I would like or could do?
Yeah. Because it's so hard to follow your heart, which is so cliche, but it's like as soon as we can talk, people stop start telling us to not follow our heart. You
Mm-hmm.
know, stop telling us to follow our dreams, follow our passion. They say it's silly, they say it's dumb, but it's ours.
Mm-hmm. I feel like two passions that I was deterred from, but are both involved in this new chapter in my life, and have been involved in all chapters of my life. But I used to want to be a veterinarian.
Mm,
I got talked out of that because of the, and it's like people just we call it hot air. People just be pushing out
yeah.
hot air, and I didn't
What was
pursue
the reason?
veterinarian because it didn't make enough money.
Really?
So I literally gave up on being a veterinarian early in life because I was like, well, if it's not going to make money, I don't even want to aspire to that. And then I had it happen again with psychology. Everybody was like, that's the worst degree. Da, 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 da. Insert fear tactic, insert negativity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, there's no. If I wanted to go back into psychology, I could because I have that degree now. And then there's no part of life, there's no corner or avenue of being around or working with people that
Mm-hmm.
psychology doesn't help with.
For sure. I feel like if you're have watched or listened to my podcast, I did an episode called Believe the Opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And it's we really don't want it to be true, but
Mm-hmm.
I continue to find it true in this off-grid Hawaii life. Like veterinarians make so much money, they don't even
They make a lot
take
of money.
pet insurance. You know what
Right.
I mean? I don't know anyone's like, oh, that broke person over there shouldn't have become a veterinarian.
And
Like,
their life would be better if they didn't.
yeah. And
No,
then
it's so true.
in psychology, I mean, therapy is a huge boom. Think about better health.
If I was gonna spend 2 or 3 extra years in school, psychology would be the first place I would.
Mm-hmm. And it's also like when you know psychology, you know how to use it. It's a skill. And I think people just don't want people thinking you know more about them than they do. You know what I mean? Or like,
Right. They even write about it or like say it as a joke. I'm like, don't psychoanalyze me.
mm-hmm. Don't therapize.
Don't therapize. And it's like, but do you need to be therapized?
Right. So that's really
Thanks for
unfortunate.
the likes.
Yeah, thanks so much for the likes. So yeah, I don't so anyway, continue.
No, that was it. I mean, so, and then I also feel like we were just talking about earlier today. It's like, I feel like with 9 to 5, these jobs, like, you have to hope and pray that they're going to, Allo XX, you are in timeout.
Mm-hmm.
24 hours.
Period.
Yeah, so, what, I forgot exactly. Oh, these 9 to 5 jobs, that the real problem is with them is it's like there is a reality, don't get me wrong, where you can work in your dream job and at your dream place and all of those, whatever, insert whatever dream you have. That reality does exist. I'm not talking down on that. But it takes a lot of work. Hello, Cammie. Hope you're having a great day. It takes a lot of work to, one, have the self-realization and understanding about yourself to even know what that job is.
Mm-hmm.
And then to be able to actually go ahead and get that job is a whole nother
Yeah.
story. You know what I mean? It's just like I could know what insert whatever job. Honestly, I could know I'm supposed to be a doctor, but I don't know how I'm going to pay for 15 years of school. Or I know I'm supposed to be on the cover or on the movie runner of whatever $1 million movie, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. And all of it takes work. So it's like to be doing these jobs, whether it's like flipping burgers, which is like flipping burgers at McDonald's is probably very few people's passion. You know what I mean? But to be able to do the amount of work required to figure out what that passion is as opposed to what the jobs are that are available, like it's all kinds of mental work and gymnastics, you know?
We don't have time to think about it. Like, I think we've all been thinking about it since we graduated college, since the first person asked, what do you want to be when you grow
And
up?
I was about to say, even before college.
Yeah. And I think we can all relate to the first time we did a job application while in college, or maybe if you stopped at high school, or even if you got your PhD. Everyone has to apply to these jobs. No one's handing out jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they pretend like they are, but they're not. And it's like, wait, I didn't get it. I thought I checked all the boxes. I
Mm-hmm.
thought I did my resume, and the whole like resume industry. Oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
gag.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh my god, that what was the point of LinkedIn if we still needed to make these resumes? I don't get it. And now LinkedIn is just like a path for scammers to steal your information and scam you. Like,
LinkedIn's trash.
cesspool.
I feel like that. Hey, Kimmy, we're in Hawaii. Where are you? I feel like LinkedIn girl or guy exposed what LinkedIn was with what we're gonna do today is
Learn
learn
from
from
each
each other.
other.
Okay,
For sure.
So it's just, there's just so many different ins and outs to all of it. But I feel like once we got away, and it took us almost a year to even be able to say that what this is what we actually wanted, which I find so interesting. You know what I mean? Because I feel like in 2020, at the very beginning of 2025, we set out, I feel like, ultimately trying to figure out what was best for us.
Yeah.
And that took us to Thailand, as you
Mhm.
guys know if you've been following for a little while.
Mhm.
And we loved Thailand. And I feel like I know that was Addie's lived in multiple places. That's the furthest I've ever lived away from home for sure.
Mhm.
You know,
Same.
so what the experiences that we were able to have there, the way of thinking, the way our culture developed, the way our tastes developed. I feel like even now, if you catch my last live, I was talking about how I was never, a huge poke fan and all that stuff, but I feel like traveling has just opened me up to so much, like getting to taste caviar. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Now I'm like, okay, well, I do like that. I'm gonna go get some fruit really quick. Go get fruit, Cammy. We love fruit too. So that type of cultural development and understanding about myself wouldn't have been able to be gained in Atlanta,
Right.
Georgia. It just wasn't.
And I feel like Thailand for both of us was just such a shock to the system. It's like when you need to change everything out of your life, you kind of just need to get completely out of your comfort zone. They have different alphabet over there. They didn't have the language was challenging.
Mm-hmm.
It was even hard to even get lessons.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to use YouTube University, and we both gave up essentially. So sometimes you just need that to have all those vacuums created to refocus, and it's a very messy.
Vacuums created.
It's a very messy process. There's going to be scars, there's going to be battle wounds,
Yeah.
but like once you get past that battle
Mm-hmm.
and get to your ikigai, which we're closer than we've ever been,
Mm-hmm. No,
now.
I feel like I want to touch on two things you just said. First, the vacuum, and then I want to touch on the battle wounds, right? So the vacuum, I feel like when I first lost my job 2 years ago now, that is when I first remembered about the vacuum. And also, it's when we were first traveling to Thailand
Mm-hmm.
and we watched, what's that, Eat, Pray, Love on the way there. And the
Yes.
guy was talking about the vacuum and it was talking about how to have faith when you let go of stuff. And then that, when I came
Yeah.
back, led me to the other book that I like by Catherine Ponder, and she touched back on that vacuum and having faith in letting go of stuff. And I feel like, for me specifically, on a very spiritual level, I have to learn how to let go of things. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I carry things, I hold on to things, and until being with Addy, it like makes me emotional. I feel like I wasn't even allowed to express myself and express how I felt about things. It's true.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just completely different. Like, I feel like I could relate to my family in so many ways, but I just feel like, obviously, with my life partner, right, I get to explore parts of myself that I don't ever get to explore with my family. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Vice versa. It's not, it's just what our relationship is for and does is completely different. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
For sure.
So, you know, I just never even really allowed myself in some ways to experience freedom, to experience fun, to think outside of the box in some ways and in some things. Because
Yeah.
I feel like I have a kind of fear mongery family in some ways. Not everybody, you know, but we're very by the book, our family, you know, we're very established in what is proper and what is acceptable behavior and what is not. And I appreciated that because it gave me grounding. But as I got older and stuff, it's like wanting to explore but feeling fear.
Yeah. For sure. I feel like we don't know how we're. JayySnow always talks about being a product of environment, and until you leave your environment, you don't know what environment you're a product of. And it's like until you get out of your comfort zone and see how many infinite ways there are to live life on this planet, you just have no idea.
Almost end up selling yourself short. So the vacuum, I feel like I have really been implementing these last 2 years. And I started really small. I think we both did, you know, because it's like we always are exchanging ideas. Or if I learn something or if she learns something, it's like I'm putting this into practice. And if it sounds good, it's like, okay, well, I either support you or it's like, you know what, I think I need to do that too.
Yeah.
Let's do it together. So we both started small with like just cleaning out our closet.
Oh, yes.
Just cleaning out our closet. And this takes multiple times. Like I said, this is over a span of like 2 years. But just cleaning out our closet of things that you don't love. Like, I feel like, does anybody, let me know in the chat if you can relate to have, we're talking about vacuums and letting go, Cami. Let me know if you can relate to like security outfits. Security outfits I fall into things that you don't actually like wearing, but it's like this is convenient for whatever reason I might need to put it on. Like I feel like work clothes easily slide into that category because it's like I would never wear this outfit outside of work, but I need it in order to go to work. You know what I mean? And I don't want to buy new work clothes and insert whatever insecurities.
Yep.
The other version is this outfit is much too nice for me to wear anywhere.
Right.
If I wear this outfit, I don't have any more nice outfits or anything like that. Like these just honestly lies that you tell yourself because there's an infinite amount of cute clothes. You know what I mean? So we just cleaned out our closet of things that no longer brought us joy. You know, what's her name, boo?
Marie Kondo.
Marie Kondo style.
Yes.
And when you clean out your closet, you have faith that all of the stuff that you're throwing out is going to be replaced. You trust that the universe is going to make a replacement for you. Yeah. And it sounds so corny and so cheesy, but y'all, when we did that, my mom immediately, my mom is a Maxinista. Okay. My mom immediately called and was like, I've got some stuff for you and Addy. Let me know. I just want to know if you guys like it. I'm going to hold on until you guys come and see me and you guys let me know if you like this stuff. I mean, I'm talking about 2 or 3 outfits a piece for us. And we're obviously grown women. You know what I mean? But the fact that our mom was at the store and was like, let me get them for this. And so that small thing, and I want you to try it because it will be affirmed. You know what I mean? Like I said,
such a good example.
Because it was true. Yeah. That gap in clothing that we thought we created was immediately refilled.
Yeah. You know, I feel like after Marie Kondoing a couple times, it's like if it does not bring me joy, it needs to get out of my closet. And the biggest challenge was work clothes. So as soon as I didn't have to have work clothes anymore, I was able to fully...
Told y'all it rains passion fruits here.
It was totally the perfect timing to like only have outfits that are cute. And I'm always editing. Even to this day, I just threw away a top yesterday, you know? And it's like...
I'm going to edit because we've been here a month. And some of the clothes I haven't even unpacked. So it's like... I am forced to question myself, how much do I love that stuff where I'm just leaving it locked away essentially. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, there's so much stuff. It's like, what if it gets cold?
Like,
yeah.
What's up?
Oh, my gang.
My
in the
gang.
house.
What's up, my gang?
Hey.
Did you go pop those wheelies, wheelie man?
Hey.
Yes. No, but so the vacuum is an incredibly powerful powerful tool, and I encourage any of our viewers, our subscribers, anybody who's watching this, immediately try to see how the vacuums are filled in your life. And then we notice it with everything. Another huge one that we've noticed recently is content editing. I am a huge
Yes.
advocator, Addy is too, of editing and a content, what do we call it, boo?
The content audit.
Content audit. And you have to see what you're watching, because you'll be watching crap, or you'll be watching stuff that will have you just in a low vibration emotionally. I feel like something that we were really real with each other about is like, we're so happy right now that sometimes we find ourselves like looking for news, like wanting to be outraged by the news, be angry. You know? And it's like that energy is just so much better spent elsewhere, you know?
For sure.
And then the other wound I wanted to talk about, I'm gonna get a little vulnerable with you guys, was I feel like leaving Thailand was a huge, we didn't know what was going on. And I feel like we also, as a couple, I feel like that's the biggest fight we have ever had since we've been together, you know? And neither one of us knew the right answer. We were having a really hard time agreeing. It was damn near impossible to agree what was best for us, you know? And those that was to touch on like the battle wounds and the battle scars, you know. And going through that as a couple, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like I knew we would recover because I know how committed we are to each other. But it's still very, very scary, you know what I mean? Because while I am knowing and hoping and praying that we recover, there's also that small, you know, and negative part of myself that's like, but what if we don't, you know? And what if this is like, we won't ever be able to see eye to eye again? Or like, what does this mean, you know? And I feel like that scar took a little while, the biggest fight we've ever had obviously took more time than what we've ever needed to heal. A little bit too.
For sure. And I think we had both heard like stories, like I think about, you knew someone who, when they moved to an island with their partner, it wasn't good for them. And I had just read the story of that loom guy who sold his business and didn't know what to do, and he and his wife or girlfriend traveled for 6 months and they ended up breaking up. And I just never want to be one of those statistics. And because travel does, and what we had to realize was digital nomading was not working for us. And also like being, you know, having culture shock, especially I was freshly laid off. We, you know, we had to go through things to even get deeper as a couple, you know what I mean? Like we were still newlyweds, like our last comment talking about us being newlyweds, and still learning how to communicate with each other, how to go through challenging times, how to go from like our single identities to our married identities. Like it's such a huge shift.
Mahalo, Willie man.
Mahalo. So, you know, I pride ourselves on moving past that big argument, and that was probably as dramatic an argument as you could possibly have, you know.
For sure.
I mean, it involved like cross-global travel, our families, for sure. And you know, it was a lot. You know, we were definitely like trying something new with Thailand, and the point of trying is that like to see, and I don't think either of us wanted it to not be Thailand. It was just Thailand said it couldn't be Thailand, really, and that had a huge impact, because it's like, well, where the hell are we going to go next?
Right. Because we had decided that Thailand was going to be it. In the best and like happiest way. We were like, oh yeah, Thailand's going to be it for us. We're just going to make a life there.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure. It's what we wanted at the time, and unfortunately, borders and passports and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's part of our journey, and I'm so glad that we are now sitting on our 3-acre Hawaii homestead. Obviously, everything worked out for us, but only because we, you know, talked to each other, communicated with each other, leaned in to each other.
And had support from our families. To, like, I guess, re-immigrate or whatever. I feel
back
like
to America.
reacclimate back to America. I also feel like, part of the beauty of marriage is like once you stand before all of the people that you love and declare your love for another person, to be like, I don't know if that's my person anymore. If you have a decent family and if you're a love advocate and a marriage advocate, you're going to say, well, now, wait a minute, are you sure? Because I watched you guys commit and profess your love to each other against all odds and against all of these things that could have come into play. So, are you sure that this person is not your person? Because you just told me 4 years ago that this was going to be your person,
Right. For sure.
So, I feel like that deep level of familial support also helped us in that week time.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone
So,
was
thanks, fams.
thanks family, and so yeah, I'm glad you got vulnerable because that's a hard topic. Oh, so King Grayson says bless you, and the flowing red hearts boost analytics. Oh, thank you so much for hearting and liking
Thanks
our
for
live.
hearting. It really helps our channels.
It really does, and I feel like all marriages go through some version of this. I feel like our version got to it faster because we intentionally spend more time around each other and a lot of communication with each other. I feel like it's easy to be married and not see each other ever.
I think it's the norm
Yeah.
to be married and not really see each other and not hang out and not like each other. I feel like I always go back to this toxic couple we met together. They both were heavily in corporate America. They worked at the same company, which I'm not judging that because at one point that's what I thought we wanted to do,
Yep.
But they were talking and she was basically saying how they couldn't stand being at home together.
Right.
And how they almost broke up because they didn't have their jobs anymore. And it wasn't the financial element. It was simply the element of being with somebody that they didn't like.
Yep.
And that was something like that moment was so critical and pivotal for us because not only was it right before Addy lost her job and we had no idea she was about to lose her job, it was also just when we were kind of shifting as a couple in general because it's like all of those things while they happened on the job loss day is like the D-Day, right? But then after the everything before that has still been happening and occurring and leading up to that, you know what I mean? So it's like there was still a lot of just stuff swarming that we didn't even have like the ability to pull down and ground, you know? So
yeah, everything happens for us. The universe is conspiring for in our favor at all times, and we didn't know, but every little step prepared us for the next step. And I feel like we started doing our miracle morning not that soon before I lost my job and all of that happened. And if you're praying and meditating, you have to trust how life is unfolding. I feel like while we weren't necessarily doing our meditation and prayer, we were definitely in our spirituality towards the end of Thailand. We were doing some really like powerful, spiritual work together. So it's like, but it's really hard. I think about when you were doing powerful spiritual work right before I lost my job and you were freaking out, wondering like, oh no, I didn't want it to work, but it's like, but we did,
I feel like we both did because I feel like even the day I lost my job was when I did a powerful quantum coaching or quantum meditation.
Really?
Yeah, in the shower.
One? That guy?
Yes.
Is that why? That makes so much sense.
I did it in the shower, guys. And I did it in the shower right before every single thing that I knew in that moment had been dismantled.
Yeah.
I did it in the shower. And then you want to know what else was so funny? Which she always reminds me that I can be a little intense when I'm manifesting and doing all that stuff. But I remember being like, I hope I did it right. I hope I did enough. I hope I put enough energy into it.
LOL.
And guys, that one only took 2 or 3 hours to go ahead and show up.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's also.
So that was the morning of Michelle's birthday. You
Yeah.
took that shower and did the meditation.
I took that shower and did that quantum jumping
Wow.
meditation.
Oh my gosh. That's really powerful.
And that's also how I knew that water, that cup one, that cup manifestation technique we used,
Oh yeah.
that worked too, because I feel like that quantum jump was like accelerated by water. I
Yeah.
personally feel.
For sure. For sure. Wow. That's I now I know why sometimes you shy away from that meditation, because that I had no idea. I don't know if I connected the dots fully. I don't know if you've shared that with me.
I think I have, but I'm sure we were. When I have, there's just so much going on between us and with us that I understand why it wasn't um, as memorable as when I said it just now.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so you got to trust, you know, whoever you're praying to that is helping you every time you pray, and that every whether it's seemingly bump in a row, like I had to get let go of a lot of like financial fear about, and I'm sure most people, it's like the reason why they're not pursuing their dreams, the first thing to kill a dream is, like you said, is to say it doesn't make any money, or
Hmm.
like you're not going to make money doing it, you're not good
Hmm.
enough to
Hmm.
be paid to do it.
And let me just tell you, anybody who says that about anything, honestly, first of all, you need to inventory whether or not they have money themselves.
Right, that is so
If they don't
true.
have any money, they don't need to be telling you what does or what does make money, because the truth is they don't know. Because if they had money, they would be off doing whatever it was that made them money instead of in your
Yeah.
face trying to tell you what to do with your life.
No, it's so true. I feel like both of us had careers where it's like whatever we went to school for, I don't know if we actually did it. I feel like I was trying to go to Wall Street, didn't get, and geared my whole college plan towards that, didn't get any Wall Street offers, and didn't
Hmm.
even know what marketing was for real,
Right.
and just kind of fell into it, and then it became my career for the next 10 years, like completely unplanned. But
Hmm.
now, like, I'm grateful for that marketing experience because we use it for our YouTube channel.
We use it daily.
It's literally, you know, it's something that I didn't know was important. I didn't There was a marketing class at school and I never took it. Like, that's how
Yep.
much I was not even interested in it, and it's like, but I was just shifted into it and it just worked out.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and no one was like, oh, that's going to be the career that makes you money.
Hmm.
I didn't even think it paid that well.
The thing is, too, there's, it doesn't matter what the career is. There's always an exception to the rule.
Yep.
And somebody who has enough, like, whatever that energy is called or described as, I think it can be different things to tell you what you can or cannot do.
Yeah.
Like Addy said, believe the opposite,
Yep.
because there's just no way for anybody to know. There's a person who's making more money than you can ever imagine selling hot dogs.
Yep.
There's a person making more money than you could ever imagine doing whatever, insert whatever, being a mechanic,
Yep.
being a trash man,
Plumber.
plumber, being all of these things that people want to deter you from being in life.
Yeah.
And those are the people who are a lot of times never out of a job.
Never out of a job. You're paying them. The people that you think are losers that are
Cleaners,
interacting in your life, you're paying their paycheck.
cleaners and janitors. I know so many janitors
Yeah.
who have retired happy
Yep.
and wealthy.
Yep.
Because, I mean, the thing about cleaning is it's an easy job.
Yep.
You don't have to be stressed. You either cleaned
Very
it
easy.
well
Or
or
you
you didn't.
I got my start as a cleaner. That's what got me my first corporate job, cleaning. And it's these people's houses weren't dirty. I'm not talking about it like because they get their house cleaned every week. And sometimes they just want you around.
Yeah.
You know, they're lonely and they just want someone around. You know, you never know. So it's like whatever opportunities present yourself in life, because there are very few. Now that I am at the age of 35, there are very few times where people come up and say, "Hey, you, I want to give you money," and
Right.
not put you through a whole
Stress, trauma, and
rigmarole,
strife.
5 interviews. Those When moments like that happen, as long as it's not illegal, you know, it's definitely a sign.
Hmm.
If someone's like, "Hey, this job you should apply for because you'd be a really good fit for it, and I work there and I know like that, apply." And
Yeah.
it's crazy what the resistance was for me when that happened. I was like, I don't even know. I'm so happy just cleaning your house. You know what I mean? Like, so, but And I also think about every job I started. I was like, every job I'd be like, I'm gonna be here forever. You know, I'm gonna become the CEO of the
Yes,
corporation. But
same.
if you look at my resume, I left my jobs, like only one job I worked over 2 years. Um, Things change, and I'm like, better opportunities come along. I'm like, you know what? That's a good opportunity. I'm gonna go.
I feel like that's something too about off grid, where it's kind of like it's just easier to not only observe but adapt to the changes, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess I'm just speaking to how so many small things prepare you and lead you up to the moment you're in now, you know.
For sure. For sure. I feel like we see it with the yard work, how one task leads to another, opening up one space leads to another focus. You know, just clearing our top cabin took forever.
Took forever. I mean, we're still not done clearing that.
We're
cabin.
still, I said top. But and we're still not done clearing the top cabin. There's still stuff in there that's not ours and doesn't need to be there. And it's like, we've also been embracing flow more, and for whatever reason it hasn't been flowing to fully clear out the house yet in the way that it's been flowing to tend to the homestead. And I feel like I was very resistant of it because I'm like, food, water, shelter, our shelter needs to be comfortable, our shelter needs to be a place that we want to be. But the truth is, like, that's just a cabin for us to sleep. Like, we bought 3 acres, you know. That's a place for us to have a bed, you know. It doesn't, it, you know, we like being outside. We always like being outside. So I had to let go of the resistance to garden. It seemed frivolous at the time when we had all that work to do inside, but it's functioning. It's good enough until we are motivated to do it. It's like trusting that once we are motivated to do it, it's the right time.
And what we are motivated to do is the right thing to do.
Yes.
It's the right place to put our energy.
Yeah. I've been talking for a while.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like that's such a thing. And I feel like it's on some level why I start to even wonder about school and schooling, because I just feel like, you know, we're just taught to go so out of flow. To be in flow is to be disobedient, is to be
Wait, to be in flow is to be disobedient in the eyes of school?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I feel like it's so many different things depending on what that flow is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like even in whatever, it's like if it's not music time, you don't want to have music time right now, but everybody else is having music time, and you rather draw, and now you're bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like even at home, it's like, well, I don't want to have dinner right now, well, but we're having dinner right now. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm sure when I'm a parent, I'm going to facilitate us all eating together. I'm just making a point though. Like, flow is edited out of our lives in many, many large and small ways, you know?
For sure.
So it's just out of the norm to dare to go further and to dare to continue to be in flow.
Absolutely. I was definitely the most resistant to flow in our relationship. I was so scheduled. And I'm glad you got to see in the UK that it's not just me being like a product of school. It's like my family is a scheduled family. And I don't know why we're so uptight about the schedule, you know? But I learned to be on a schedule, you know what I mean? And I thought that was the only way to get productivity done. But I think I realized once you get to the point where you have more than you can manage, or where you're prioritizing more in a day that can even be possible, the schedule just completely disintegrates. You know, we have an old calendar in our phone that we never followed, not one time. Because while we may be able to white knuckle for a little bit and force things, one, it doesn't feel good. It causes friction between us. And two, it removes faith, because again, when you're praying, the God doesn't come down and say like, no, as long as you do this by X date and this by this date and this by this time, then I'll answer your prayer. Like, we create that, you know what I mean? And it's just a lack of trust. It's a way to not trust and a way to put ourselves in it, as opposed to like letting God make it easy and work through us.
I also feel like for me personally, sometimes, not always, 'cause I need motivation, I need some type of consistency, but I feel like sometimes the schedule can also impede the flow in several different ways, but it's also like it stop like you sometimes you don't know how long something is going to take. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for
So
sure.
you plan to do these
Never.
5 things that you know you're going to be able to
Yeah.
get to because they're 5 small things, but thing and you zoom through thing 1 and 2, but thing 3 is now proven to be a little bit more complicated. It
Yeah.
might draw you back a day, you know what I mean? And so now it's like this mental exercise of whether you want to
Yeah.
keep going, move forward, or start over. Yeah, you know what I mean? Or you like
Yep.
rush through something and now you're not taking your time and doing your best, which, everything can't be the best, right? But I do like being able to do my best at being the best, you know?
Absolutely. It creates a cycle of failure,
Mm-hmm.
which is demotivating.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I cut you off. That just
No,
inspired me.
it's true.
Also, Gorilla Gospel says peace queens,
Peace,
and
queen, peace, gorilla.
that's why discernment is the chief thing to pray for. God, studying moves in God's school.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of people praying for discernment,
Mm-hmm.
and while I've never directly prayed for discernment, we pray for wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically the
Mm-hmm.
same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your patience with me with the schedules, and it was just like, I probably was stressing everybody out because that's also how work was. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
what's the quarterly plan?
Mm-hmm.
What's the sprint? What's the
Mm-hmm.
this? What's the that?
Mm-hmm.
And like, while having a list of to-dos is helpful, the manner in which it's executed and like, we can't force it in any way.
Yeah.
We were talking about our neighbors. They bought their property 2 years ago, just
Mm-hmm.
started, had the foundation laid for who knows how long,
Right.
and I'm sure they were like, oh yeah, we'll get this done in 5 months or a
Yeah.
year. And,
Yeah.
but life doesn't work like
I
that.
feel like when we were still thinking about building a tiny home builder, the guy was like, "Yeah, you guys are gonna have a tiny home in 6 months," and honestly, that immediately made me not go with him. I was
Yeah.
like, "This guy is making a bunch of promises he cannot keep."
Right.
I know for a fact that major companies like Amazon, Home Depot, and Walmart having trouble shipping stuff over here,
Yeah.
and you're around here chirping in my ear that you're gonna get this done in six
Yeah.
months, where these majorly financed, multi-billion-dollar corporations aren't sure about how to get stuff to
Yeah.
Hawaii yet, but you've got it figured
You've
out.
got it figured
Bro,
out.
you're about to jip me.
Yeah. No, for sure, because they get the money, the deposit, and then they take as much time as they need.
Mm-hmm.
So, we just, anyway, that timing is something that can never be predicted. And it's like when they do rush it, like a lot of American homes, then they have problems.
Mm-hmm.
The people who do stick to the schedule, it's like really the person who buys it, is the victim because of that schedule, because they cut corners.
So,
I'm grateful to be descheduled. I feel like now we wake up and it's like, I mean, certain things we need to plan, but we did, even with laundry, we picked the day that we needed clothes. And also to run to the town, we picked the day our cat was almost out of food. It's like, well, we got to go to town to get that food. So just it not needing to be so like regimented, I think that's a safety blanket for me. Because if I feel like if I don't have that, then nothing's ever going to get done. And that's a fear and worry that fortunately is leaving me now. The off-grid has forced it.
hashtag off grid.
Hashtag off-grid.
No, I think off grid has slowed us down in a way that I don't believe anything else could.
Yep.
I feel like I mean, it sounds so dorky and cheesy and hippy dippy, but it's really true. Like, I feel like even here on the land, like, obviously the land is alive. Plants are sentient, things are alive, right? And I feel like even here, when I'm working too hard and doing too much, I truly believe the land be like, girl, you tripping.
Yeah.
You need to sit down. You know what I mean? Like,
Literally tripping.
literally tripping. Because it's like, even to just walk around our land and our property as it is right now, you have to be careful where you step because
Yep.
it's just really uneven. Some of these tree roots, as magnificent and beautiful and huge as these trees are, these root systems are tree root systems, which I have never seen before, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you can, if you are not walking with purpose in it, or not walking with purpose, if you're not walking with clear attention and paying attention to everywhere you step, you start falling and
Mm-hmm.
start forcing errors on yourself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, even when I'm just walking from point A to point B on the property, I have to take my time.
Yep.
I have to pay attention to where I'm stepping, to what I'm doing. And it's
Yeah.
just that level of time and patience with myself on mainland and on in any other time I just haven't even been able to give to myself.
Yeah, for sure. It's always speed walking
Mhm.
everywhere, getting from point A to point B.
Mhm.
You know, we don't have lights.
Mhm.
Um, we have to use a flashlight. Have to be more careful at night. Um, Guerrilla Gospel says, "Just know we are stronger and more blessed than we know. It gets deeper than what we learned or conditioned to. It gets deeper. Just keep standing in y'all truth, pray and study." Thanks, Guerrilla
Thanks. That's
Gospel.
exactly what we
You're
can keep
great.
doing. Yeah, no.
I hope you're
Well, I
subscribed.
hope you're subscribed too.
Subscribe if you're not.
To help us.
Exactly. At I'm my channel at JayySnow.
JayySnow. So yeah, I feel like that's one of the things that I can immediately be the most grateful for from this land,
Mm-hmm.
outside of food and the shelter and comfort that it gives us, is just the reminder that now the way we are living and the way we've shifted our life is I don't have to rush through life. I get to
Mm-hmm.
is time to stop and enjoy and smell the flowers, you know? And it's like, of course this land wants us to enjoy every part of it, every minute of it. I mean, it's working hard to be beautiful. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Or not to be beautiful. It is beautiful in its nature and in its own abilities, right? That's just something that it is, right? But encouraging us to love and take our time to feel, enjoy, and feast upon
Mm-hmm.
the beauty that is this incredible piece of land that we get to steward, you
Yeah.
know? So,
It truly is amazing. I feel like and like also we have the tools that we were able to do this with, like our vision board
hmm
template that got
we
us
sure
here
do, yeah.
is on our Etsy store,
hmm
linked in bio.
hmm
Our financial
hmm
like budget planner
hmm
also at our Etsy store, linked in bio.
hmm
You divination tarot
Yeah. Yeah.
sessions.
I love our Etsy store now, and I hope all of you guys, when you watch this back, you go visit and make sure that get something that you like from there, because it's a collection of both of us, and it's truly all products we're passionate about. You
Yep.
know, I feel like it's easy to kind of discount the fact that they're digital products, but Addie worked at Google.
Mm-hmm.
And so if she's making a digital product, like I've never seen anybody maneuver the Office suite or the
Oh,
Google
thanks,
suite the way
boo.
Addie does. I mean, Addie is this spreadsheet goddess,
Oh,
okay?
thanks, boo.
So, you know, these are tools that we truly implement and put into our lives, you know, even whether it's Addie's digital tools with my spiritual tools. Like when we decided we were going to move to Thailand, it was because we did divination and we used the tarot cards, and I used the charm casting to help
Yep.
us figure out where our next best place was and what
Yeah.
to help us plan what would be good for us. And I feel like while Thailand didn't work and it left us with that battle wound and stuff, we're so much stronger than
Yes,
I
for
don't know
sure.
if we ever even realized that we could be.
Yes.
I talked about that time where it was like scary and I didn't know, but to be out of that time, and it's like everything across the board within our marriage has improved, whether it's just communication,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's grown folks sexy time, you know, because our communication is good, because the love is flowing. It's easier to just connect and resonate in a way that we weren't able to do prior or during,
Yeah.
you know. So it's just really been incredible and helpful, powerful, and immediately changing. We talked about vacuums earlier in this live. Like all of the vacuums that have been created have been so amazing.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just trusting that we will be taken care of, and the alternative is just a really hard way to live life, thinking
Mm-hmm.
everything's gonna not work out,
Mm-hmm.
and that you gotta live in this self-imposed prison.
It's also sad.
It's a tragedy. It really is. It really, really is. So, Ranj Kumar says, "Hey girls, where are you from? We are in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
USA."
USA.
And
USA.
also, if you're inspired by this story and want to help us develop our homestead even more, we have a link to the GoFundMe in our bio,
Mm-hmm.
where you can send us a housewarming gift. We're a month into our Hawaii homestead, and we appreciate every dollar given.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So
Oh, pounds of love. Thank you.
thank
Bye.
you. Yes. No. So I think we were talking about our Etsy store products and stuff. Like those are all products that we truly are passionate about, and not only are we passionate about them, we have implemented them into our lives and the way that we operate
Yeah.
to this point, to this minute.
We absolutely use every single, and used for years, every single product.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, oh, we should put this on Etsy because it would
Mm-hmm.
help people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're priced really affordably. I don't think there's anything over $15 on our
No.
Etsy store,
Mm-hmm.
and most items are 99 cents,
Mm-hmm.
with the exception of an amazing tarot reading or energy healing. And those are still way below market price compared to if you wanted to get a tarot reading or energy hearing anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
JayySnow delivers virtual ones. So definitely check out our Etsy store. Send us a gift via our GoFundMe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, feel like I'm talked out.
Yeah. No. Let's wrap it.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks you guys for watching. You guys are the best.
It was so much
Love
fun
you
talking to you guys. We
guys.
love you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. See
Like
you
and
next time.
subscribe.
Bye.